Hi, everyone, and welcome. Wherever you're joining us from, thank you for choosing to spend this time with us. Whether you're deeply rooted in a particular faith tradition, spiritually curious, questioning, deconstructing, or simply longing for a place to breathe, we're grateful that you're here. But before I go too far, I need to stop and acknowledge that we made a mistake a couple of weeks ago. I think you all know that although our roots are in the progressive Christian movement, we at Firebird Spirit prize and honor all approaches to the sacred, all different ways of engaging the Spirit. And that's why we have people from different traditions and no tradition at all, sometimes bringing us the all-important messages of the day. A couple weeks ago, we selected a song that was in opposition to that practice, when we had us all singing, quote, "On Christ the solid rock I stand, all other ground is sinking sand," close quote. And that is not how we feel at Firebird. Yes, there are those who follow the teachings of Jesus the Christ. Certainly they are welcome and represented here, but so are those who follow other belief systems or no belief system at all. We do not feel that all else is sinking sand. That's just not us. And we apologize for slipping back into the comfort of familiar songs in writing that service. We will strive to do better going forward. And we thank those who brought that to our attention. Firebird Spirit is a gathering of compassionate souls. A movement where people of many beliefs, and as I've said, of no beliefs at all, no particular strand of belief or river of thought, we all come together in a shared desire to live with greater love and wisdom and courage and hope. We're especially delighted to welcome back our friend Darlene Saeva as our messenger. As many of you know, Darlene practices the Bahá'í Faith, and over the years she has graciously shared with us the wisdom that she's found there, while helping us discover the beautiful places where the teachings of Jesus and Baha'u'llah speak to one another. We believe truth is never diminished when we listen deeply across traditions. Instead, our understanding and our hearts, they just grow a little wider. Throughout this month, across the Firebird platforms, we're exploring the theme of rest, listening, and integration. In a world that's constantly urging us to produce more, achieve more, hurry toward whatever comes next, these sacred readings offer a quieter invitation. They remind us that before anything can bear fruit, something must first become receptive. Rain nourishes the earth. Seeds seek good soil. The Spirit looks for open hearts. And perhaps the deepest question isn't, how can I accomplish more? Maybe it's more like, what kind of life makes it possible for love and wisdom and compassion to grow naturally within me? So as we prepare ourselves for this time together, I invite you to hold a simple question in your heart. What within me is ready to become more open to the sacred? What within you is ready to become more open to the sacred? There's no right or wrong here, nothing, that has to be set in stone, just a general question about how to become more aware and more in sync, more resonating with the sacred in your life in this now moment. Think about it. We'll see you on the other side. I'm sharing a reading today from Christian scripture. It is from what's known as the New Testament, the Gospel according to Matthew, the 13th chapter, the first 9 verses. And once again, we have taken 3 versions of this passage: the New International Version, the Message version, and the International Children's Bible. And we've made a composite out of that. Hopefully it will resonate with our 21st century ears. And even if we know this passage, maybe we will hopefully be able to hear it with new insight. Listen for the Spirit's message to you. Jesus went out and sat beside the lake. Soon such a large crowd gathered around him that he climbed into a boat and sat there while the people remained along the shore. From the boat he began teaching them through stories. He said, "A farmer went out to sow seed. As the seed was scattered, some fell along the path, and birds came and ate it. Some fell on rocky ground, where there wasn't much soil. It sprang up quickly, but because it had no deep roots, it withered beneath the hot sun. Some seed fell among thorny weeds, which grew up and crowded out the plants. But other seed fell on good soil, where it produced an abundant harvest. Some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. If you have ears to hear, then truly listen." Let us truly listen now, as Darlene explores this meaning from the perspective of her Bahá'í Faith. Darlene?
Hello, my name is Darlene Saeva, and I am a Bahá'í, which means I am a follower of Baha'u'llah. We believe Baha'u'llah was a manifestation of God that came to us for this time. We believe that God has many manifestations for their times, and they are all equally important. Abraham, Christ, Muhammad, and Buddha are just a few others. Today's message is about spiritual growth. In the Bahá'í Faith, growth is a twofold process. It is the continuous spiritual growth of the individual soul, and, just as important, it is also the collective growth of society. Baha'is want to move mankind along, to progress society to the ultimate goal, which is unity of mankind. Continuous spiritual growth of the individual and society's collective growth are guided by active service, daily prayer, the study of sacred writings, and applying divine principles to daily life. I would like to speak to you today about these forms and what that looks like. Regarding the spiritual growth of the individual, the Bahá'í writings compare human growth to that of a tree or seed. From Matthew, we have the parable of the sower. How the seed grows is determined by the openness of the heart where it lands. Baha'u'llah said, "Blessed is the man who turneth towards him." To cultivate inner perfection, we are told to suggest focus on core practices. These are daily devotion, selfless service, reflection, and meditation. Daily devotion includes reciting prayers every day and reflecting on these prayers and other writings. One prayer starts with, "I bear witness, O my God, that thou hast created me to know thee and to worship thee. I believe that is why I am here, to know God. I try to always think about that which helps to keep my daily connection with God." Another writing tells us the wisdom of prayer is this, that it causes a connection between the servant and the true one, because in that state, man, with all heart and soul, turneth his face towards his Highness, the Almighty, seeking his association and desiring his love and compassion. Perhaps you have a prayer or writing that would help you to reflect daily on your connection with God. O Lord, I am a child. Enable me to grow beneath the shadow of thy loving kindness. I am a tender plant. Cause me to be nurtured through the outpourings of the clouds of thy bounty. I am a sapling of the garden of love. make me a fruitful tree. Another core practice is selfless service. All efforts and exertion put forth with the highest motives and the will to serve humanity are considered the highest form of worship. Selfless acts that Jesus performed are throughout the New Testament. We worship God through service to others. And the honor and distinction of the individual consist in this, that he, among all the world's multitudes, should become a source of social good. Reflection and meditation include taking time to contemplate sacred writings like the Bible or Quran, to name a few. We understand them more deeply and then live a more purpose-driven life. The Seven Valleys by Baha'u'llah details the soul's journey through stages like search, love, knowledge, and unity toward nearness to God. There are many books that cultivate spiritual growth. Perhaps reflection and meditation on one of these books will be something for you. The ultimate goal of collective growth of society is an ever-advancing civilization. The Baha'i community's building process focuses on the empowerment of individuals to take charge of their own spiritual and social development. The betterment of the world can be accomplished through pure and goodly deeds, through commendable and seemly conduct, is a quote used quite often with Baha'is. To help us accomplish this, we have core activities, such as study circles, where people reflect on the spiritual nature of existence. Devotional gatherings and classes for the spiritual education of children and youth. All faiths are, of course, welcome, and many people who are not Baha'i, but interested in the betterment of society, take part. In study circles, we examine divine principles and what they mean. Applying divine principles to daily life was one of the individual core practices as well. Just a few of these divine principles are truthfulness, faithfulness, and honesty. A kindly tongue is the lodestone of the hearts of men. A lodestone is magnet. To attract others, you need a kindly tongue. It is the bread of the Spirit. It clotheth words with meaning. It is the fountain of the light of wisdom and understanding. In other words, what you say is important, and it reflects on you. A big divine principle is truthfulness. It is the foundation of all human virtues, according to Baha'u'llah. Without truthfulness, progress and success in all the worlds of God are impossible for any soul. Wow. Baha'is believe to die is to enter another world of God, where your soul still progresses. So this quote says that you really need to be truthful. Discussions like these help your spiritual growth. You are growing with others and helping to grow your community. There are also coordinated efforts within specific areas to expand community life, train youth, and multiply acts of service. You can see that our efforts to better society are very much grassroots oriented. I'd like to end with a writing and a prayer. Strain every nerve to acquire both inner and outer perfections, for the fruit of the human tree hath ever been and will ever be imperfections, will ever be perfections both within and without. It is not desirable that a man be left without knowledge or skills, for he is then but a barren tree. Then, so much as capacity and capability allow, ye needs must deck the tree of being with fruits such as knowledge, wisdom, spiritual perception, and eloquent speech. This is from Baha'u'llah. And the prayer that I'd like to end with I would like to say is my favorite. He is the compassionate, the all-bountiful. O God, my God, thou seest me, thou knowest me, thou art my haven and my refuge. None have I sought, nor any will I seek save thee. No path have I trodden, nor any will I tread, but the path of thy love. In the darksome night of despair, my eye turneth expectant and full of hope to the morn of thy boundless favor, and at the hour of dawn, my drooping soul is refreshed and strengthened in remembrance of thy beauty and perfection. He whom the grace of thy mercy aideth, though he be but a drop, shall become the boundless ocean, and the merest atom which the outpouring of thy loving kindness assisteth, shall shine even as the radiant star. Shelter under thy protection, O thou spirit of purity. Thou who art the all-bountiful provider, this enthralled and kindled servant of thine, aid him in this world of being to remain steadfast and firm in thy love, and grant that this broken-winged bird attain a refuge and shelter in thy divine nest that abideth upon the celestial tree. Thank you.
As our time together comes to a close, we want to thank Darlene, Deborah, Barbara, and of course Andy and Kevin, who make this gathering possible every week. And I invite you to remember that the sacred has never stopped sowing its seeds in your life. It's happening right now. Wherever your path leads from here, may you notice the quiet invitations that have been there all along. May you make room for what matters most. May your life become good soil for wisdom and compassion, for courage, and yes, for hope. And as those gifts take root within you, may they naturally find their way into every life that you touch. Go gently, friends. Listen deeply. Trust the quiet work of becoming. Until we gather again, may you know that you are deeply loved and you are never alone. Amen. Amen. Okay. Stick around for our closing music and our printed announcements. Think of them kind of like the bulletin or newsletter that you get in person. And until next time, God bless, take care, and bye for now.
Thank you for listening. This podcast is a production of Firebird Spirit, a global community of hope where the sacred meets the real. You can find our weekly gathering videos on YouTube at Firebird Spirit Hope. Related reflection articles, resources, and our RSS feed are available at www.firebirdspirit.org. As you journey this next week, may you walk in hope, live with compassion, and continue growing in the Spirit. Until next time, God bless, take care, and bye for now.